Hey guys, the market has been making us suffer and worry about our portfolios lately. So today I decided to address a rather important topic and analyze what is happening with the market in general and what can we expect from it. We will also talk about RNDR, what to do with those coins that you bought at levels much higher than the current ones. Should you drain them now before they go even lower? In addition, we will discuss the latest news and partnerships of the RNDR network to better understand the bigger picture. So be sure to watch this video till the end. I promise it will be very useful. Subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, and let's get started. I think everyone has already seen Bitcoin at 57,000 and even a little lower. In fact, it has been very systematically approaching this mark, showing almost a 20% drop over the past month. What does this mean? Another correction or the end of the bull market, and now we will go even lower. Let's find out. First, we need to understand what caused the decline last month. We saw a drop from 70 to 60,000 in 2 days. This is just a crazy drop caused by military conflicts. The entire crypto community and economists in general have started to speculate about the outbreak of a major conflict, in which there will be even more participants. It's good that it didn't happen, but the market was already suffering a lot. Just look at altcoins, which lost minus 50% in 1 day. In addition, when the conflict seemed to be moving in a more diplomatic direction, Bitcoin halved. The market was manipulated and hamsters were given false narratives that we would fly to 100,000 almost immediately afterwards. In reality, this did not happen, which is not surprising because there is a corresponding market behavior that we see literally every cycle, every time we see a zone of accumulation and renewal of the all-time high throughout the year. So the people who were manipulated did not see $100,000 for Bitcoin and began to actively exit the market. This can be perfectly tracked by the Bitcoin ETF, and we have seen a steady outflow of funds from this area over the past month. As you can see, there were only 9 days of inflows into the ETF, and the rest of the month was dominated by outflows. At the same time, the total amount of sales was much higher than the total amount of purchases. By the way, this is not all the market manipulations we saw last month. After all, on the 30th, the Bitcoin and Ethereum spot ETFs market was scheduled to open in Hong Kong. Rumors spread in the information space that China was planning to join the race with the United States and even break the record of $125 million in volume on the first day of trading. But what did we actually see? On the first day, the trading volume on Bitcoin amounted to $4,631,000. And on Ethereum only 170,000. This definitely did not meet expectations, but at the time of recording the video, there was a news piece saying that as of May 2nd this week, the net inflow of Hong Kong ETFs amounted to $217 million. However, even this will not be enough to cover the sales observed from American investors. So the situation now looks rather ambiguous. Despite a fairly positive start to the year, we may be witnessing a classic sell on May and go away scenario. So it is very important to judge the situation correctly. However, today's topic is RNDR, so I suggest we move on to evaluate the latest news on the project. After that, we will be able to fully understand the situation and take some action. We should probably start with the fact that we have recently seen a decline in interest in this project. For the last 2 months, RNDR has been the leader in the entire AI market in terms of social media mentions. Now it has slipped a few notches and the price has dropped. But why? First, we need to understand how many newsworthy events there were in February and March. The partnership with Apple to render images in Apple Pro Vision, the strategic partnership with NVIDIA, and participation in their conference, which certainly contributed to the growth of the asset. Now there are fewer newsworthy events, and the last big event that happened recently was a partnership with Stability AI, which I talked about in my videos about RNDR, so if you haven't watched them yet, be sure to do so. I don't think the lack of very high-profile events is a bad thing. After all, the market is like that now, and RNDR is not a simple product that has already proven to be quite cool. So now they are developing and increasing their potential. However, the lack of high-profile news does not mean that the project has completely left the information space. Here, for example, is an announcement of an interesting event that will be attended by the founder of the RNDR network. Besides, there is a pretty good chance that we will see another high-profile and large integration of RNDR network's GPU into one of the leading resources for creating 3D animations, Blender. Right now, a vote is taking place among the RNDR token stakeholders, and they can make a decision on this partnership and actually decide the future development of the project. Such a partnership could be a new combination of the giants of Web 2 and Web 3 cultures. And who knows, maybe soon we will see not only Blender, but also Photoshop and other projects from Adobe in partnerships. In fact, if you scroll through the render page, you can see that the project is growing very actively. The team attends conferences all over the world and forms small partnerships that grow into something bigger. In addition, there are often cool news stories, like the fact that at the famous Las Vegas ball recently, you could see an image rendered using the render network. So anyway, I personally still have a pretty negative feeling about this project and the token. And the current price pullback is not the fault of Render Network itself, it is the general market sentiment, which is very important to consider when investing or otherwise interacting with RNDR. And now I suggest we move on to the price prediction, because the situation here is somewhat unclear. I want to make it clear right away that I'm only giving my subjective opinion on the future price. This is in no way financial advice. So do your own research and invest wisely. In general, you can see from the chart that everything is going exactly as I expected and talked about in the last few videos. Render dropped to the $7 point and is now at a resistance level of around $8. However, it is not a process now. My short to medium term goals for the token remain the same. I expect to see $13–15 in the near future. Of course, there are factors behind this. Partnerships with Apple, Nvidia, Stability AI, and a possible partnership with Blender. Besides, Anatoly Yakovenko, CEO of Solana, supports Render Network, and I can't help but mention the fact that Nvidia will be reporting earnings, which historically has been a big driver of the entire AI market. Also, I can't help but mention the fact that short-term growth is based on information only, and I don't take into account the fact that technology improvements, new partnerships, and so on. So when we talk about my bullish prediction, I see much better price points. Again, if you take into account all the positive factors that can contribute to the price increase, I see no reason for only 3x. Therefore, I set goals for myself, under which Render Network will be able to grow to the zone of $90–100 per 1 RNDR, because this coin is a utility of their product, which can be useful for absolutely everything. And I want to remind you that this video is by no means financial advice. This is just my vision and thoughts on the market, so always do your own research before investing and invest wisely. Please like the video if you enjoyed it. Subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the growth of coins. Thanks for watching. Your Coin Post.